I saw the Prime Minister speak for 29 minutes while he addressed the nation yesterday. He named the Congress party 58 times, which is once every 30 seconds. I like it. I like it because the Congress stands for the truth, the Congress stands for all the people in this country, and which is why it is very, very important that the Prime Minister remembers that the Congress will checkmate him, will keep him in check, will rein him in. It tells you how frustrated he is. It tells you how miscalculated his gamble and his adventure was. It tells you that Mr. Modi was caught with his hand in the cookie jar because the issue was not of women reservation. The issue was flawed and undemocratic delimitation and his attempt to walk away from the caste census. I'm going to put a picture right behind you. This is a picture. This picture has Mr. Modi and he has a basket full of 543 mangoes. When a woman walks up to him and asks for mangoes, the Prime Minister says, no, I cannot give you mangoes from this, even though they are kept here. I will first plant this tree. When it will bear mangoes, then I will give you. So when this 543 becomes 850, only then will I give you mangoes. Otherwise, I won't give you mangoes. That's the story. Mr. Narendra Modi himself is the biggest impediment, is stalling women's reservation single-handedly. Because the opposition has said it in absolutely clear terms. Bring women's reservation on 543 Lok Sabha seats tomorrow in the House and we will support you. No if, no but. 543 Lok Sabha seats, we will help you reserve 181 out of them for women. If you are true about it, if you're honest about it, bring it. But he will not. Because this has never been about women's reservation. The reality is that the women's reservation bill that was passed unanimously on the 21st of September 2023 was notified by this government. On the 16th of April 2026 at 9:55 p.m., the debate to amend that amendment had begun, and after that the notification happened. That's the seriousness on women's reservation. And how dare the Prime Minister speak about women's respect? He's the same Prime Minister who calls a married woman 50 crore girlfriend. He's the same Prime Minister who calls a respected political leader somebody who's bearing the loss of her martyred husband, Congress's widow. He's the same Prime Minister who goes to Bengal and heckles a democratically elected Chief Minister. He's the same Prime Minister who keeps quiet when crime against women happen. He's the same Prime Minister who says, if you put a picture of a woman on a pickle box, that will sell more. He's the same Prime Minister who uses the words like Mujra and Mangal Sutra from the stage. He's the same Prime Minister who keeps quiet when women are molested and raped in Manipur, when a girl is molested and raped in Hathras, Unnao, Lakhimpur. He stands with the perpetrator of the crime constantly. Whether it's Prajwal Revanna or Brij Bhushan or Kuldeep Singh Sengar, he constantly stands with perpetrators of those crimes. He's the same Prime Minister who keeps quiet when those who killed and raped in the Bilkis Bano case are released, are felicitated. He's the same Prime Minister who keeps quiet when Ankita Bhandari is brutally murdered and entire Uttarakhand is out on the streets. He's the same Prime Minister who keeps quiet when our most decorated athletes are pushed and shoved on the streets of New Delhi, 500 meters away from where he lives and works. He's the same Prime Minister who keeps quiet and supports Jeffrey Epstein's friend Hardeep Puri in his cabinet, and keeps quiet when allegations are raised that he was also taking advice from Jeffrey Epstein. This is the Prime Minister. So you really think that the Prime Minister believes in women's empowerment and women's respect and all of that? When he says women do not forget being disrespected, yes, they don't. They will not forget any of those things that I have mentioned. But I do understand his frustration. This is the first time he's seen a loss like that, a loss of face. His bill has been defeated. This is the first time, by the way, since 1990 that a constitutional amendment bill has been defeated in the Lok Sabha, and the first in 2002, the quota bill, which was defeated in the Rajya Sabha. But what does the Prime Minister do? Instead of pushing the women's reservation, like we are saying, he tries to hide behind it. Do you think the country doesn't understand that you were trying to bring in a flawed, undemocratic delimitation? You think people don't understand that you agreed to caste census under a lot of duress and pressure, but you really don't want to do it? You think the country doesn't understand that the 50% proportionate increase in seats was not a part of the bill? Why should the country trust you? You said the country should trust me. The country trusted you. 15 lakhs in every account, 2 crore jobs every year, 100 smart cities, rupee and dollar being of the same value, petrol coming down to 42 a liter, farmers' income doubling. The people trusted you. But they turned out to be colossal jumlas. So why should people trust you? You think people will trust you? Because in 2021, you told the Supreme Court, your government told the Supreme Court, there will be no caste census. Your minister, Raksha Patil Khanse, told Parliament, there is no plan of a caste census. You told a television channel on the 25th of April, 2024, that caste census is an urban Naxal demand. And yet, a year later, thanks to Rahul Gandhi, on the 28th of April, 2025, you agreed to a caste census. But you don't want that census to be a part of the women's reservation bill decision? You don't want OBC women to get their rightful place? You don't think OBC women deserve to be in parliament? Haven't you seen the astounding numbers of OBC population both in the Telangana and the Bihar caste survey? What are you shying away from? And how long will you continue to push these false, baseless narratives? And the reality is that when you stage a protest against your bill being defeated, you are forcing the country to look into your history. This women's reservation stands tall on the foundation laid by the Congress party with the 73rd and the 74th amendment, which ensured reservation for women in local body elections, which is how we have 15 lakh elected women representatives. And guess who are the people who voted against this bill when Rajiv ji tabled it for the first time in 1989? The tallest luminaries of the BJP, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Lal Krishna Advani ji, Jaswant Singh ji, Ram Jethmalani ji. So that's your reality. The reality is that when you say, we will go to every household, I want you to go to every household. Because women should be able to tell you how they are reeling under high prices. Women should be able to tell you the acute LPG shortage. Men should be able to tell you that they've been forced to leave cities and go back to villages. You must go to every household to find out how workers in Noida, in Faridabad, in Gurgaon, in various parts of the country are forced to live at a meager wage of 10,000 rupees a month, and that has remained the same for the last 10 to 12 years. Yes, you must go to every household in India to know the truth. The reality also is, you say the country should trust you. How does the country trust you? You have belied the expectations of this country over and over and over again. And the reality is, if you were serious about women's reservation, you could have brought it in right after 2014. You had an absolute majority government, both in 14 and in 19. We tried very hard in 2010. We got it passed in the Rajya Sabha. It could not be passed in the Lok Sabha because we did not have the numbers, but you did. That bill had not lapsed. What is stopping you from giving reservations to 1/3 women in the 543-member Lok Sabha? That's a question everybody wants to ask. The question that everybody wants to ask today is, why are you forced to suddenly project yourself as this emancipator of women, as somebody who wants to empower women? Is this because very, very serious allegations have been raised by people who were once very close to you, by people who once projected you, by people who once supported you, wrote paeans in your favor? Some very serious and some very damning allegations have been raised by them. Is that why you are forced to project yourself as this emancipator of women? And then let me go to the things that Mr. Modi has said on the Congress party. He says the Congress opposes for the sake of opposing. We wanted to bring in GST. You opposed it as the chief minister. We wanted to bring in food security. You opposed it. Only by renaming our schemes, the no-frills, zero balance accounts have been renamed Jan Dhan. We brought in Aadhaar. You want to take credit for it. In fact, you and your people opposed when computers were being brought into this country by Rajiv ji. You really want to go down the dark hole of opposition. Give me one reform that has changed the face of this country or benefited the people in the last 12 years. I will only and very politely remind the people of this country how anti-women you are. Here is data from NCRB, which talks about crime against women that has increased manifold, rapes against women have increased manifold. And let me give you your own track record. You have 240 members in the Lok Sabha, 31 women. Less than 13%, 12.9 to be precise. 13.6% is the average of this Lok Sabha. You have 1,654 MLAs all across the country, only 164 women MLAs. less than 9.9%. You have MPs who face serious charges of rape and murder. You have 54 legislators across India, MPs and MLAs, who face grave charges of gang rape and murder. That's your reality. You really want to talk about the Congress party and what we oppose? Yes, we oppose SIR because we will not let you do vote chori. Yes, we oppose the way you are denying people their right, their simple democratic right to vote, and we will oppose it tooth and nail. We have opposed it with data. Rahul ji has put forward before this country, Madhepura, Aland, Haryana, Maharashtra, state after state, how you have systematically gone and eroded the right of people to vote. You want to talk about infiltrators? Let's talk about infiltrators. In the 10 years of our government, between 2004 to 14, we drove away 88,000 infiltrators. How many have you driven away? 5,000. How many infiltrators have you found in Bengal and in Bihar and in Delhi and in wherever else elections happen? So people are sick and tired of your empty promises and jumlas. You think people have not realized the kind of delimitation you tried to do in Assam and in Jammu Kashmir? You think people don't realize that there are constituencies which have 8 lakh voters and some that have 25 lakh voters? You think people don't realize there are Lok Sabha constituencies with 6 assemblies and then those with 12 and 15? You think people don't realize this is nothing but a desperate attempt to somehow cut gerrymander constituencies to stay in power? You think women of this country are so foolish that they don't realize you are hiding behind them to push through a flawed delimitation and to walk away from caste census? You think women have forgotten? Women haven't forgotten. People of this country realize what you're doing. And in the end, I will only want to say, the emperor is naked. There is nobody to tell him that. The emperor looks tired, he looks frustrated, but nobody is willing to speak truth to power within the BJP. You speak to people from the BJP off the record, and they will tell you this was political harakiri. The Prime Minister doesn't seem to know what he has done because the Prime Minister has lost his connection with the people. He doesn't know the ground from beneath his feet has shifted a long time back.